Hey everyone, welcome to the Recap Room with your girl Joy, your go-to companion podcast for becoming fierce female entrepreneurs. I'm going to be your host, and this is where we press rewind on our past episodes to take a closer look at the key insights, lessons, and strategies that can help you thrive in an entrepreneurial journey. In this space, we'll be breaking down big ideas, unpacking practical strategies, and reflecting on how you can apply them in your life and business. Whether you're stepping into a new season of growth, tackling challenges head on, or looking for that spark of inspiration, the Recap Room is here to empower you to take bold, intentional action. Together, we'll uncover how to align your goals with your purpose and turn insights into unstoppable momentum. Subscribe now and never miss an episode. Also, invite others to subscribe to the Recap Room. It's going to be a time to reflect, refine, and rise. Hey everyone, in this episode, we're revisiting one of our most heartfelt and empowering conversations. How are you investing in you? Featuring our amazing guest, Yvonne Whalen. If you've ever felt like you're running on empty, showing up for everyone except yourself, then this one's for you. So today we're breaking it down stage by stage and helping you make some real deposits in your personal and professional growth. Ready? Let's go. Whether you're a seasoned entrepreneur or just starting your journey, this episode is your reminder that you are your most important investment. So let's walk through the 5 stages of personal investment we explored together and dive deeper with a key takeaway and an actionable tip for each. Also, there is a worksheet that comes with this episode to personalize your reflections and action steps. So if you would like a PDF copy of today's handout, pause this video and click the link in the show notes to request your free copy. Let's start with stage 1. Oh, all right. There's someone at the door. Yvonne Whalen. Welcome, Yvonne.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Well, I'm so glad you could join me today.
I'm happy to be here.
So let's dive into this lesson. So, Yvonne, studies have shown that entrepreneurs are terrible at taking care of themselves, because they pride themselves on working long hours and barely leaving their desk. But, if you want to build a long-term business and you want to be successful, we have to carve out time to take care of ourselves because being an entrepreneur does require self-care. You agree?
Absolutely.
So today we are going to discuss how much is in your personal heart's investment plan. And we're also going to talk about how much are you investing in you. So let's start with, are you leading on empty? Are you burning the candles at both ends? And so when you lead on empty rather than out of excess, our bodies begin to suffer.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, our job performance began to suffer. And then when a person reaches burnout, that burnout level, they hardly ever, rarely return to the same level of performance that they once had before the burnout. But there is hope. So let's talk about the 5 stages of investing in you. All right, so you got your pen and paper, and then Yvonne, you have the handout that I sent you.
I do.
All right. So let's do stage one. Stage one is assess your current situation. So write this down. Assess your current situation. And so you need to figure out how much do you have to invest? So how much are you depositing in you? So to get an idea of what drains you, what fills you up, let's take a few moments and list some things that take emotional energy in your life right now. So these are going to be withdrawals. So on your paper on the left side, list withdrawals at the top of your paper. And then on the right side, you want to list deposits. So take a few moments, list some things that take emotional energy of your life right now. And then also list some things on the right side that increase your emotional energy in your life. And then these will be your deposits, okay? Okay, so you have your withdrawals, you have your deposits. Next, I want you to sum up how you feel. So, for example, I want you to write on your paper, I feel the most drained after I what? So, sum up your withdrawals and sum up your deposits. I feel the most energized after I what? All right. So, Yvonne, would you like to share a few of your withdrawals and your deposits and then how you summed it up?
Sure. So the withdrawals, the emotional withdrawals or the withdrawals that take my emotional energy, I will have to say it's a multitude of things. The first would be negativity and rude people. When I'm out and about running errands and encountering folks, when I'm getting gas or grocery shopping, or even if I'm picking up lunch to go, people that are rude and in a hurry and insincere and, trying to push you along, when you're just trying to have a pleasant moment. Those are times that I notice that I step back in positivity, because I'm the type of person that I want to be helpful and help everybody stand up and be strong,
Yeah. Now, what about deposits?
Just exact opposite. People who are positive, and when you're out and about and you say hi and they smile and say hi back, and helping that person who's having a hard time, reaching something in the upper aisle at the grocery store and being able to reach up and grab it for them, or helping someone to their car, an elderly person comes to mind, or just spending time with family and friends. Those restore me.
Yeah. What was your sentences?
I feel the most drained, when I'm in public, or even when I'm with family and friends and they're very negative. Everybody has those moments, but when it's a constant battle, that's when I feel the most drained. It's so difficult to recover and come back from being with a group of friends or group of people that are, I'm going to say, heartsick, because that energy transfers over to me and other people.
Yeah.
Ooh. Now, when I feel most energized, again, it's when you can smile and laugh and be positive and be helpful, help someone else's day improve with a smile, because you can always see it, when you're looking at somebody and they maybe aren't feeling very good and you smile and say hi and say a kind word, you can see their whole face brighten. That makes a huge difference.
So the key takeaway is awareness is your first step to transformation. When you name the withdrawals and deposits in your life, you reclaim your power. And an actionable tip is make a list today of what fills you up and what wears you out. Then ask, how can I start investing in the things that energize me? List three things that drain your energy and three things that renew it. And then post this list somewhere visible in your workspace. Stage two, define your goals. What do you want to earn from your investment in you? This is not about pressure. It's about being intentional. And in this clip, we challenge you to define what you're working towards, not just in business, but emotionally, mentally, physically, socially, and spiritually. Because when you know your goal, you can choose the right investment strategy. So take a look at this. So write this down. Stage two is define your goals. So why are you investing in yourself? What are you hoping to earn? Think about that because you can determine the best investment plan for you based on, and there are 5 categories that I want you to write down: emotional, mental, physical, social, and spiritual. So let's brainstorm some ways that you can be renewed. You can also go back and look what you wrote down for deposits, and you can put some of these in the various categories that I just mentioned. So you have emotional. So let's talk a little bit about emotional. Could be like I like watching rom-coms. That's one of the things that I like. Mental could be just enjoying a book, a good book. Physical, I like to take a walk. Sometimes I just like to take a walk alone. You may decide to, walk your pet, but for me, I like to walk alone. Social, it could be a night out with some really good friends. That's what I like to do. I like to do a night out with some good friends, close friends of mine. Spiritual, I like to pray, I like to meditate, and I do a daily devotion. So you just want to list something under each of these categories. So think about some ways that you can be renewed. All right. And so I love this quote that says, our minds are easily influenced, but we control what the influences are. So you want to choose what you invest in. So Yvonne, would you like to share any of yours?
Sure. Let's take emotional. My emotional investment plan is I really love loves and hugs from family and friends. I have cousins and my siblings that check in with me all the time. Similar types of texts, or something sweet on Facebook. They'll send me something.
Oh, that is awesome.
It is. It is. For my social investment, I really enjoy coffee dates and dinner out with really good friends.
Yeah, yeah. It's so good to think about these things because these are things that we just kind of take for granted. But I wanted to walk through these stages because I want you to write this down. Chances are when you say it out loud or you write it down, you'll be like, oh, I didn't even think about that. I need to take time out, in each of these categories.
Well, and even the physical, I had to think about that because I do enjoy yoga and walks, but I think for me, it includes eating healthy and taking care of my basic needs, visiting the hairdresser, getting a pedicure, or even a facial.
Yes. Oh my goodness. That's how I reward myself when I complete a goal.
Absolutely. They're all feel good things.
They are. The key takeaway here is don't just invest time and energy, invest with intention. And an actionable tip is choose one area where you feel depleted and write down one new practice that would restore you. And that's your personal ROI, return on intention. Next, stage three, decide what to invest in. Just like diversifying your financial portfolio, diversify your energy and growth portfolio. So, in this clip, we get practical. How do you invest in yourself and your business without burning out? We talked about building a business investment plan that includes support. So take a look at this. So there are many different ways that you can make investments. So, financially speaking, you would consider things like stocks, bonds, 401k, IRAs, like that. However, today I want you to think about how can you grow your business. So I'm talking to our women entrepreneurs and business leaders and business owners. So once you reach this stage in the process, and it may be appropriate for you to determine what is the vision for your business. So you might want to write that down. What is the vision for your business? What is your biggest struggle? And how can you create a long, profitable business and take care of yourself at the same time? So now let's create your business investment plan. I love this part. And so the key here is diversification, okay? Making sure you're not keeping all your eggs in one basket. And I drew this lady, by the way. You see there, she's investing in herself. So write these things down. What is the vision for your business? What is your biggest struggle? What is not working? And how can you make better investments in your business and still take care of yourself? And then I want you to draw this chart. So on the left, you're going to put business investment, and then on the right, potential return. Yvonne and I will talk about a few examples here. And one you can see I put hire a business coach. And your potential return could be to help you get unstuck, help you solve problems, help you with feedback, right? Some other things that I listed, you could join a women's networking group, and some potential return on that is, oh, you get prospects, you get leads, you get a stage to speak on. You also get to learn from each other. And the other one that I really love, you get to partner with each other, which is like Yvonne and I are doing. I met her through a networking group. And so you get to create awesome partnerships and friends. Another business investment is to hire staff or outsource. That's an awesome one. And some potential returns could be it frees you up and it gives you a chance to do more important things. And so I like that one. Yeah. Hire you may, or even, you can hire a virtual assistant. Oh my goodness, that's a really good one.
I agree.
Yes. Okay, Yvonne, do you want to give the ladies some of examples of business investment and potential returns?
Absolutely. So my first example is work with an accountability partner. The rewards are incredible. And it says potential return, but my return has been positive feedback. I get more focused, or I have been more focused, and I get clarity. I'm not trying to figure out where I'm headed, clarity with the feedback has really given me direction. And that has been incredibly helpful.
The key takeaway is you can't grow a business alone. You weren't meant to. And an actionable tip is write down 3 things you need help with and one small step toward outsourcing or getting support this month. Stage 4, determine your risk tolerance. How much discomfort are you willing to navigate for the sake of growth? Growth often sits on the other side of discomfort. And in this clip, we examined how much risk you're willing to take in order to grow, not just financially, but personally. Sometimes growth looks like rest. Sometimes it looks like setting a bold boundary. Either way, you need to know your risk capacity. So take a look at this. To decide how much risk are you willing to take? And here's the other big question. How long can you wait? Okay, so generally speaking, the younger you are, the more risk you can take, right? Since your portfolio has time to recover from any losses. Now, I'm talking about aches, pains, breaks, and tears. Because if you're older, you may tend to seek less riskier investments in those 5 categories that we talked about earlier, Yvonne, emotional, mental, physical, social, and spiritual. So riskier investments have the potential for significant returns, right? And so I know we've all heard the old adage, no pain, no gain. But we have to do something, right? But what? So you must define your goal timeline. So right here, you're going to want to make a declaration of what you're going to do. So in stages 1, 2, and 3, you brainstorm some ideas on how you can better invest in you. So now for stage 4, you want to make a declaration of what you're going to do and when are you going to do it. Okay, so this is what I want you to do here. I want you to write your declaration here. So with your paper here, if you'll write, I will make a deposit in my internal account by, what is it that you're going to do? What are you going to do? Write a brief summary here. And then also I want you to put a date and a time of when are you going to make your deposit into your internal account. All right. And if you can do this week, that would be awesome. Okay, so this is your action plan. So you're going to list, I will make a deposit in my internal account this week by doing what? What are the steps? And then when are you going to do this? All right, take a few moments and do that. Okay, Yvonne, would you like to share with us? I can't wait.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, Miss Joy, one of the things that I'm really good about is finding an excuse to not take the time to meditate, or finding an excuse not to invest in myself. So my declaration is that I will make time, even if I have to schedule, or even if I have to turn on my alarm, meditation at least 3 times a week, and start with 10 minutes for each meditation. And I will start this tomorrow, as soon as tomorrow. And then my other item, I feel it needs to be business related, is that I would like to sign up for a webinar this week, and I will take the time to review the courses that are available to me tomorrow. and sign up for it.
All right, awesome. This is really powerful, this action plan. I've done this presentation in person. And when I do this in person, I walk around and pass the mic to different people. And it is so awesome to see women make their declaration out loud. And then you can see their eyes go, oh, what did I just commit?
What did I just do?
Just commit to, but it's a way of making you go, you know what, I said I was going to do that, and I'm going to do it. Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm going to do it. Yes, I've done this many times, and going to different conferences, and that's how I started my business. That's how I started my organization, by going to a conference and said, you know what, the time is now.
Well, it's that whole accountability factor.
Ooh, yeah, yep, yep. I was like, this is the time. I'm about to do this and make it happen. All right. The key takeaway is growth requires risk, but so does staying the same. And an actionable tip is make a bold declaration. What's one shift or commitment you'll make this week to prioritize you? Bonus, put a date on it. Stage 5, monitor your investments. Are your current habits aligned with your long term vision? If you don't track it, you can't transform it. If you don't track it, you can't transform it. In this clip, we remind you to check in. Just like a financial portfolio, your self investments need regular review and adjustment. So take a look at this. Monitor your investments, because once you've made your investments, right, it's not wise to just leave them alone. Okay, so every so often you should check back to see how your investments are performing. And then you need to decide if you need to rebalance. So, for example, maybe you aren't putting enough into the investments that you listed today, and you aren't on track to reach your goals. So maybe you want to reassess and reevaluate. And I would say you want to do this monthly until you get closer to achieving your long-term goals. So you should make any changes, adjustments that are necessary to continue working toward your goals. So take a few moments and just think about this. How often? I said, monthly, but just think about how often you want to reassess and reevaluate. The key takeaway is self care is not a one time act, it's a system. And an actionable tip is set a monthly check in with yourself to ask, what do I need more of? What's working? And what needs to change? If you're leading on empty, you're not leading at all. You're surviving, and we're here to help you thrive. Remember, your personal heart's investment plan matters just as much as your business strategy. So take a moment this week to ask yourself, how am I investing in me? Because the best return you'll ever see is the one you deposit in yourself. Remember, you are not a machine. You are a visionary, a creator, a powerhouse in progress. So keep your heart's investment plan close and refer to it often. The best ROI comes when you are fully present, passionate, and filled, not running on empty. Be sure to download the handout that goes with this recap room to personalize your reflections and action steps. We're not just building businesses, we're becoming. So also let me know which of the 5 stages spoke to you the most. Don't forget, we'll be back in August with our next episode of the Recap Room. Until next time, keep dreaming big, taking action, and believing in what's possible. See you soon. I hope you are enjoying the Recap Room. This new series is a companion to the Becoming Fierce Female Entrepreneurs podcast, and it's a deeper dive into the solo episodes that you love. In each episode, there will be key takeaways and practical tips to fuel your journey and fresh insights to help you thrive unapologetically. So don't forget to grab your journal. I have some beautiful blank journals here with my artwork on the cover. So if you like to purchase one of these, you can go to my website at becomingfierceentrepreneurs.com. These journals help you keep all of your notes in the same place. And so if you're ready to make this year your best year yet, subscribe to the Recap Room and join me for every episode.